That.
So you back out in Brazil now.
Yeah.
So you from my bad if I mispronounced this. You from Sao Paulo,
São Paulo.
Brazil? Did I say that?
Yeah, São Paulo.
Sao Paulo.
Yeah, you said right.
All right. So when did you come to America?
So, like, I moved with my family in 2016. It's when I moved, and I was already playing here in Brazil. I was playing at like nice level. I was like state champion with my team out here, and I could be stayed here and play pro, but I decided to go US with my family and have a education and better opportunities and try to play basketball in US. So that's
Yeah, yeah.
when I decided to go to US in 2016, like in June. And then I went to a JC close to my house and said I play basketball and I want to start playing basketball here. And then
Yeah, that was at Diablo
Yeah,
Valley, right?
Diablo Valley College,
Yeah,
yeah, in Pleasant Hill. And then
yeah,
that's when I started my journey in US, and I had to really start from the bottom, like fresh. I didn't know nobody, and um, like I told the coaches I couldn't play, and they were like, "Oh,
yeah.
come to the practice, and we gonna see if you can fit the team." Then I started doing summer workouts the whole summer, like June, July, and then August started the classes. I couldn't speak English. My English was like very bad. And
So this was your first time coming to the States, like in general.
no, I have been in US like a couple times for like travel, like vacation with
Right.
family, and then I went twice to a camp. It's like a month in Massachusetts. So I stayed the whole month in Massachusetts playing against AAU teams. It was like my
Okay.
first time being by myself in a group of people, like foreign people, and try to understand the
Right.
language. So that was like my first experience in US and try to figure out how to speak and live by myself. That was like my first time traveling by myself without my
What
parents.
was it like? Was it overwhelming to come over here and try to learn a whole new culture, a whole new style of basketball and everything? How did you feel in that moment?
Like for me, I knew there was gonna be a challenge. I kind of knew a little bit what I was going to um, face during this process, but also like that was like a couple things I didn't know that I would struggle, and language barrier was like something that took me a while, and then after I started like having a girlfriend, that I started learning
Yeah.
English better, and that helped me out a little bit. And the game, the style basketball, that was like something different too. Like here in Brazil, we are learn how to play as a system and as a team and passing the ball and like
Right.
very unselfish. In US, it's like very like you see a lot of talent players that can play one on one. Like everywhere you go to, every park, like
Yeah.
outside, every 24 hours fitness, you can see like people very skilled playing basketball. Like they
Exactly.
probably don't know anything about like the basketball, like the game, like the
Yeah.
but they
Like
know,
how to play within the team, like
yeah,
how to move and cut without the ball and just do the little things like that. But if you get them in a one-on-one situation, they probably
yeah,
could
like
go
everybody.
at you all day
It's
long.
like the same thing out here in Brazil as a soccer. Like no, a lot of people don't know how to play as a team, but like every kid on the street can play soccer everywhere out here. So it's kind of the
Right.
same thing. So, I,
That's
so I had to figure out like how to be a better basketball player as like one on one and more like skilled. And so during my JC time, I had to learn a lot and practice a lot my individual skills, like how to dribble the ball well and those
yeah.
fundamentals things that we don't learn a lot here in Brazil. And for me, it was like a big thing.
So um you played at Diablo Valley. You averaged about 12 points a game. You end up being first team
Hmm.
all conference. Did that did it take a while for you to make that adjustment, or you feel like you picked up on it pretty quickly?
So like when I was like getting the summer workouts, like I was telling you, um, like when the school started, I didn't know half of my team, and the coach said like you can be part of the 12, like on the roster on the 12 players,
Right.
and then we gonna see how you gonna do. And then we play like couple games before the season start, like in September. Didn't start at all those games. Didn't play a lot, but I was like getting better and more familiar
Yeah.
with the team. And then as soon as the season started with like tournaments, I started I started the game, and then that was like my best starting season that I ever had. Like we played three games
That's
back to
crazy.
back, and then 5 threes each game.
Dang.
And then after that, I started every other game, and that gave me like a confidence that I never had
Yeah.
before. And my teammates were like hella cool, and we had a great team. We had like two other guys that pushed a lot of points, Rodney
Hmm.
and G,
Okay.
and then they were like very good playing basketball, and then we had a great chemistry. So that was like a nice year for me. Like my freshman year, that was like really nice.
Yeah. That's dope, bro. So after that, like I said, you made all conference. You had a good year there at Diablo Valley.
Hmm.
Before you committed to was Cal Poly Humboldt now, did you have any other offers, or if you did, what made you choose Humboldt over them?
So like when I was about to go to transfer to a different level, I was like struggling with my classes. So like with units, for me to go to D1, I had to have like 60 plus units, and then because I'm foreign, I had to take like English second language classes that don't count as a unit, and that made really hard for me to transfer to a different level. So my coach was trying to send me to like a NIA school, and
Hmm.
then I told him like I want to go at least to a D2 level because I really feel I can play those levels. And I had to do some
Right.
like classes during the summer, like some criminal justice classes, like some other stuffs, like some GE classes. And
Hmm.
then schools started texting me like Sonoma, not Chico, Sonoma, East Bay, uh,
Hmm.
some schools in Chicago. So I have like many coaches text me, but like at the end of the for my final decision was like in Hawaii Hilo and Humboldt. Like those two
Yeah.
schools called me, and they sent me the offer, and then I went to Humboldt to visit the campus because it was like close at where I was staying. So I
Hmm.
went there, talked with Kinder, talked with Mendoza, and
Right.
Hawaii was like hella far. So I choose Humboldt because I like the program, I like the location, I like the school, and for me it was like better to stay close to my family, like 6 hours away. Like any holiday
Yeah.
or break, spring break, I could have just drive back home, and that would be easy for me. So that's why I choose Humble.
Yeah, that's smart decision, man. Cause you already being away from like home in Brazil, so
Yeah,
I know you weren't trying to go too far out to like Hawaii or something.
yeah,
Um, but while you were in like Humboldt or while you were in the States, even though you were with your parents, did you like ever miss Brazil at all?
yeah. A lot. Like I really miss the food. Like I love the food out here, and of course, like some friends that are close that you grow up with, and you had to move to a
Yeah,
different country and you stay away from them. It's sometimes hard, but it's like it's something that I always dream about, like going to US and living out there. So
heck yeah.
it's something that you gotta overcome, and every it's part of being a basketball player too. Like
Right.
everywhere you play, you're gonna be like right now. I'm away from my family, away from my friends, and it is what it is. Like you just gotta figure it out. You have breaks, and when you on vacation and preseason, whatever, you with them, and that's how you gotta live.
So right now you're playing for, I still don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but it's Pato Basketball.
Pato, yeah, Pato.
Um, it is it. So is that close to your hometown or?
It's 14 hours by bus.
Ooh, that's a mission.
Yeah, and it's like an hour and a half with plane, so it's not that far.
Okay.
But you gotta like, it's like arcade out here. Like you gotta, if you want to go to São Paulo, you gotta get a small plane, go somewhere else, get a connection, and get a
Yeah.
flight. So it's like take 6 hours by plane to get there.
Okay. So after playing, you play for a couple years in the States. You
Hmm.
had to make that adjustment originally going from the playing style in Brazil to the playing style over here.
Yeah,
So now you go back to Brazil to play pro. Did you have to readjust your game again to fit the style that's over there?
yeah, I love, bro. Like it's a really different game. Like a lot of moving screens, way more physical. Like there's a lot of things I
Yeah.
was used to get called fouls in college, and
Yeah.
here they don't really pay attention on those calls. And there's some other stuff like sometimes they call foul, and it's not even foul like that we are used to. So it's really hard to understand how things work out here. Like I never had a opportunity before to play pro, and this year I'm
Hmm.
having the opportunity to play, and it's really different. Like the game speed, the pace,
Yeah.
like everything is really different, and like I'm I'm getting there. Like I'm playing more
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
right
For
now, and like the beginning of the season I was not playing a lot, but right now I'm trying to get more physical, more stronger, and I'm trying to figure it out. And
man.
it's been a cool journey.
Yeah, bro. It's a process.
Yeah.
It's gonna take some time. Um, it's gonna take some time. What was I finna say? So yeah, does that discourage you at all? Like going through the process, you coming from college where you were probably one of the main guys on the team.
Mhm.
Now you're going back over here, you having to readjust and start from the bottom again.
Mhm.
Does that discourage you at all, or do you just stay in the gym and try to work as much as you can to get better?
Just try to stay in the gym and work and get better. And like one thing after college, like I had a ACL surgery, my last game at
Hmm.
Humble, and then that made me upset a little bit. Like after, because I didn't know what could it be after college when I got a
Right.
ACL surgery, and then I had to come back to Brazil and then start really from the ground. Like then I came back playing in August from last year with a pro team that is not like, it's a second division level, but
Right.
there is a this state championship that we play here in Brazil that plays some teams from the main league and some teams from the second league, and they play against each other. So I play for
Hmm.
one of those teams against those Division One's teams. And then after that, I
Right.
moved to Pato Basquete, which is like in the main league.
Hmm.
So for me, it was like it was hard for me to have an ACL surgery and come back, and right now playing
Right.
at this level. So
Is it hard from a conditioning standpoint, having to get back in shape, or do you got to just get used to moving around, get your legs back strong to have them under you when you play?
uh, like for me, when I got the surgery, I knew I couldn't be um like the first month I got surgery, I knew that I had to keep keep my shape like in on point, like not eating too much, because
Right.
I met like few teammates that had the same surgery and they start eating after they got surgery, and then after they were allowed to come back running, they were like too big. And then when I
Right.
got the surgery, my mind was like, I'm gonna eat right, and then like um do everything that I can to like when I'm able to run again, I will be like in a better shape and that will be easy for me to come back. And I think that was like one of the best things I did was like keep my shape. And when I started jogging and running again, like I was not like heavy or I was not strong,
Yeah.
but like I was in a good shape. I was not like that bad, and I was just getting used to like practicing every day. And like right now, I feel normal. Like I don't
Right.
feel anything
When
at all.
the higher you go into the game, it becomes more about like taking care of your body and eating the right foods and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that something that somebody had to teach you, or were you just always had it made up in your mind that like I gotta take care of my body, just to stay in the best physical shape that I can?
No, it's something that like I've been learning. I'm like honestly, I still learning. Like I love to eat. Like sometimes I eat
Yeah,
sweets and everything. But like
man, I'm with you, bro.
yeah, but like at the beginning of the season, I was not playing a lot, and then that
Mm,
was one thing that the coaching staff came to me and said like you cannot be eating like too much if you're not playing. Because
mm,
I was traveling with the team and I was getting like 2 3 minutes a game. But we stay in nice hotels, and you know how the food out there be looking like. There is like hella desserts,
exactly.
and I was like eating, and not playing. Like the
Yeah,
starters was like were eating, but they were
they
playing.
burning
Yeah,
off all
they
the stuff
burning.
that they eating. Yeah,
Yeah, and I was like just eating,
uh,
and then I got like a couple pounds, and then I was like, damn, I gotta stop doing that. And then at one point, I stopped eating those things, and then I'm following everything right. So I go to a hotel, eat what I need to eat, go back to my room,
yeah,
and go to the game, and then I don't know. I start playing more after I start like getting taking care of my shape.
right. I see. Even from going to school with you, I saw that you love to be in the gym. You always getting up extra work. You could see on your social medias where you always just doing something
Hmm.
basketball related, even when you was hurt. If it's just dribbling somewhere outside or in the gym getting up extra shots,
Hmm.
where did you learn your work ethic from?
Um, like since I was kid, when I was like I started playing basketball 6 years old, and then since then always I always like to be on the gym and throwing the ball on the hoops. Like I remember when I was like
Right.
7, and I missed a lot of shots during our practice. And then the next day I got in there like 1 hour before, and then just start like throwing the ball in the hoop for like no
Right.
reason. It was like something that was automatic in my mind. Like I need to go there before my peers in the class,
Yeah.
and then after that, I always try to like do the same thing. Like when I start getting older, I always like getting shots after practice or before, and do some extra workouts. Like not like going and run 5 miles, none of
Right.
that. But like I like to be dribbling or just shooting. Like I love shooting. Like
Heck yeah.
during pandemic, I was like going somewhere with a basketball hoop and just be shooting. That's something that make me like relieve and don't think about anything else.
So your senior year, well, the end of my year going into, because you had redshirted that year at
Yeah.
Humboldt, going into that next year is really when the pandemic set in. How did that affect you guys during the season?
So like we when the pandemic started, our team was like playing, and then we had a break. We go back home,
Hmm.
and there was like we stay at home like for so long, and we
Right.
came back like in August, and we start like having those practices like three times a week, and then having COVID tests like every day was like it's something that we never experienced before. And they were trying to scheduling games for us, and we stayed this whole semester like just practicing without playing any game, and then we just played a game like in the other year, like in February, and we had like some
Right.
scrimmages, and then we had to play like there was like some rules that if we go out as the city, we had to be in lockdown, or like we couldn't go anywhere if we get out from the school. So we had to every time we leave Humboldt, we had to play 3, 4 games, 5 games, and then come back and be in quarantine for like 15 days, and then we go out.
Wow.
We go out again, play against like 5 teams, and then when we come back, quarantine again. So every time we leave the school, we had a quarantine. So that was like hard for us to be in shape.
So yeah. So y'all have to play. Y'all had to play probably like 3 games in a week or something then,
Yeah,
because and you don't really get all that time to practice and stuff. I know that was probably hard as heck. And then you probably had a lot of, I think y'all had a lot of incoming guys that year. So was it hard to build team chemistry, being able to do that, not getting that extra practice time, and then having to play so many games back to back?
yeah, it was hard. Like, I mean, we practiced the whole semester with the team without playing a game, so we already had the chemistry.
Uh,
Um, like the starting 5 team was like me, Amari, G, Noah. So that was like players that were in the program from the previous year. But the
right.
other guys that came in, they were like we had a lot of practice, so chemistry was like not a problem. But if you see our games, you can see that we needed more time to practice or more game situations. And during
Right.
pandemic, we didn't have a lot of opportunities to play. We have like few games, like, and every time we traveled, couple games were like canceled because of COVID. Like if somebody got COVID, or maybe it's they think somebody got COVID, or if he sneezed, somebody thought that you got had COVID, and they canceled the game and then changed the
Yeah.
whole routine, and that was really hard.
That would suck, bro. That would have kind of irritated me.
Yeah,
But growing up in Brazil, did you play any other sports besides basketball, or did you play soccer at all?
yeah. When I was young, my mom and my dad always put me like every class they could in my school. Like I started with swimming, soccer, like indoor soccer, volleyball, handball, basketball. So I was doing everything.
Right.
Most playing soccer on the street with my friends, and in basketball I started with 6, and then with 12 years old
Uh-huh.
I went to like a club. Here in Brazil we have like under 12, 13, under 14, until under 19, and then you pro. So I went to this club
Right.
called Palmeiras. It's when I started playing basketball with 12 years old, and then you gotta decide if you want to just play basketball or you want to go to other sports. So with 12 years old, I decided, yeah, I'm going with basketball, and then at that point it was
Is
just
is
basketball.
there is there anything that made basketball stand out specifically, over choosing like soccer or handball or volleyball or something? What was it about basketball that kind of just made you love it?
Like, to be honest, I don't know. Like my passion in basketball started because I remember I was in class, and my class ended like at 5 p.m. or something like that. And all my
Hmm.
friends from the class was going to a basketball class. And I was like, and my parents was going to pick me up. And I was like, where are you guys going? They were like, oh, we have a basketball class after class. And then I
Hmm.
was like, oh, nice. Like, I want to do too. Like, and then I told my mom, like, all my friends going to basketball class. Like, can I go with them? And she was like, yeah, I'll put
Right.
in a basketball class with them. And then I started going to the basketball class. And then I fell in love with the sports and with the sport. And then after that, I didn't stop playing until today. It's like
Heck
something
yeah,
crazy.
man. Basketball one of them sports when I don't know. You just when you pick up the ball, like you just get an adrenaline rush from it. Like if I just walk in the gym right now, I'm gonna automatically feel good, like just to be around the game.
Yeah.
Um, but so right now you're in one of the main leagues in Brazil.
hmm
Is there like so what's like the top league out there in Brazil?
It's the one I'm playing right now calls NBB, and
Okay, so
and it's like I don't know in worldwide how is this league? It's in a if it's like way worse than G League, for example, or I don't know. But it's like a good league and it's growing every year. Um, like since when I was in US, I'd be following the league out here, and then I see it's growing. And there is like nice teams out here. Like you see,
yeah,
one of the top teams in this league just played the FIBA World Clubs champion or something like that, and they played against a
yeah,
G League team, and they beat them and went to the final against a team from Spain, and they lost by
dang,
couple points. And the same team we lost in the overtime, like in
that's
back
crazy.
in November. So it's it's a league with it's a league with a nice players. There's like a couple players that played in the NBA before, and
Yeah,
and for me it's been nice just to be on the court
heck yeah,
and learning and seeing like players that be in this league for like 15 years plus and just learning. Like our team out here is really young. Like when they build our team,
right,
they they try to because like older people cost more, and they
exactly,
try to create a team with like young players that are trying to seek for opportunities. So, like for example, I'm one of the oldest players on the team with 27 years old. And the other are like 25, 33, 22. And if you check it out, our games, we look young on the court, but we can play like every team we play, we play like it's a good game. It's not like something that we
right,
lose every game by 30, by 40. We play like hard, and it is what it is. Like,
heck yeah.
we just young.
So do you being that you're already in the top league in Brazil, do you have plans? It's like, do you want to plan on like wanting to move up to maybe a higher league in a different country? Would you want to go had the opportunity present itself, um, or are you pretty much good with just staying in the league that you're in?
Right now, my mindset is like to establish myself in this league. It's really hard. Like
Hmm.
if you don't be working out or giving numbers, they're gonna put you like you have to go to like a league under you, under the main
Right.
league. And for me, it's just I try to establish myself first here, and like next year, maybe get a contract out here again or go somewhere else that pay me more or give me more minutes. But in the future,
Heck yeah.
I think to like try to different league or go to Europe and
Yeah.
try to grow up in those leagues that are better. But it's just a process. You gotta live the moment right now and don't think too much about the future. Just try to.
Exactly. Is it hard being a pro? Because if you think about it, when you go to college, you know you got scheduled practice, you got scheduled weights, you're gonna play a game. I feel like being a pro, you have a little bit more freedom because maybe you have weights, maybe you have practice,
hmm
and then you got all of this time for the rest of the day. How do you encourage yourself to go and get extra work so that you don't just become complacent?
So yeah, one thing that is different from college, like in college we have everything set. Like
Right,
you have like extra workouts with some coaches. It's already planned on your week schedule. And pros sometimes like you don't have those extra workouts. Like they're not gonna tell you like, oh, let's come get some extra workouts. If you do, it's something on you. Like if you're not
right,
if you're not producing to the for the team, like you out. So you always try to be on the gym doing some extra workouts. And it's something that I'm learning like out here too. Like at the beginning of the season, I know we have weights like 3 times a week, and then I saw like teammates that were like more familiar being pro. They were going like different times, like at night. I was seeing them posting, doing some workouts at night, and I was like, I didn't know we had a like workouts. They were
Right.
like, nah, you gotta do by yourself because they're not gonna do for you. You just gotta do what you gotta do. And then
Heck
I
yeah.
start going like different times. I like after practice I go to weight room, and then when I'm day off, sometimes I do some extra workouts, and that's how it is in a pro level. Like nobody gonna do the work for you. You gotta
Yeah.
or like tell
You got to
you
do it
like
yourself.
yeah, you gotta do yourself.
Do you feel like that your game has improved a lot going from college to now being a pro? Do you feel like you were way better than you were probably a couple years ago?
Uh yeah, like in understanding the game, I feel like I'm way better, and then like my pace. It's one thing that in college I was trying to get better, and you know how it is in college. Like it's like fast, and sometimes
Yeah.
you gotta change the game speed, and it's something that
Right.
I think I got better. Like we don't have I don't have to be playing like hard all the time. Like you see Luca playing, he play
Exactly.
like
He play at his own pace.
yeah, and it's something that like I'll be learning and watching like other players that are like very good out here in this league. They play in their own pace, and it's something that I'm trying to learn and get better. And it's something I already got like better on it. Like I'm playing my pace, and I don't have to be like trying to rush or do something crazy. Like
Yeah. When you see guys like Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic,
hmm
Giannis, when you see all the foreign guys that's really dominating in the NBA today, why do you think? And all of them say that playing over here is way easier than playing in their respective countries. Why do you think it's so much easier, and why are they able to dominate so easily?
one thing that I feel like the defense out here it's really intense. Uh, like I said, they don't call fouls like in college, so there's a lot of bumps. There's a lot of it's really hard to score. I feel like in the
Right,
NBA, the court is more like because of the 3 point line is way further. It's way more easier to like play pick and rolls, and there is those rules with the 3 seconds on the paint. That so it's
right.
I feel like in the NBA it's more easier to get a point, get a bucket, and out here it's like there's a lot of plays, there's a lot of systems, and defense really hard, and you see the games go like 65, 75, 85, 90. It's not like NBA
Yeah.
that go like 100 something against 100 something. So
Did you just see the Chicago Bulls game they just had versus the Kings? They scored like
175, yeah.
175. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Like that's too many points. And like
Yeah,
I feel
exactly.
those guys that play in Europe in a high level, and and they stand out in their league, and then after that they go to NBA and play against,
Right.
so it's easier for them to play. So that's why
Yeah.
they are being successful in the league because of that. I think the European basketball it's like a very nice how they teach the young kids how to play basketball in the right way,
Right.
and how they grow up in there. And I think Brazil it's kind of the same thing, but it's not like in Europe. It's like a little bit under, but it's
Yeah.
kind of follow the same process, and I think that's a good thing for like a basketball
Do you,
player.
do you think overseas basketball would ever try and make the adjustment like the NBA to kind of make the game similar where they start focusing on the 3 point line, they spread the game out, don't call as many fouls to make them higher scoring, or you think they'll just stick with what they've been doing because it has been working for them, and you can see they're producing some of the best players in the world now.
You mean like the NBA or?
Yeah, like so, you know how you was just saying that the game is different
Uh
overseas.
huh.
Do you ever think other countries would change the rules of their games to make it sort of like the NBA, so the games are higher scoring,
Uh,
or do you think they'll keep it the same, being that they're producing some of the best players in the world now?
Probably they're gonna keep the same. Like maybe the 3 point line they're gonna change. I don't know. Like everybody on in the road play as a FIBA rules, and so like the same rules that they play in Europe, they play here in Brazil. It's just NBA that play with a different rule.
Yeah,
Like I feel NBA is NBA, and like we love to watch NBA. If they try to do FIBA rules in the NBA, gonna be like a different game, and it's not gonna have the same special thing we always see. So I
yeah, that's true.
I think it's nice to like have NBA and then European rules, and I enjoy watching both. And college is something different too. Like college is something else. So it's three
Exactly.
three kinds of basketball.
So, in your opinion, you played college, you played with the rules over here, you played with the FIBA rules. Which one do you think suits you better?
Uh, I would say the one out here. Like it's more like a thinking game and not like like college that you be running and fast
Right.
pace. I always love like you could see too like when we play together. Like I was more like try to play in a system and not being like
Yeah.
break the plays every time. It's just how my style is because I grew up playing that way, and I think the FIBA rule it's like one thing that I'm more used to play.
I think it's better, honestly, playing that way when you learn to play in a system because it makes you less predictable as a player.
Hmm.
So like some people you can read their game like he gonna come down, you know he gonna probably double cross and go right. But if you learn how to play within the system, it's hard to predict because maybe you can catch it on the wing and do a catch and shoot three, or you can
Yeah.
catch it and rip through a couple dribbles and get to the basket. And I think that's what helps make guys like Giannis and Luca better
Hmm.
because they learn how to play within a system. So their game is unpredictable. So when you bring them over here and you let them be the go-to guy and shoot whatever they want, it's gonna be so much easier for them to score.
Yeah, you're right.
So I like the FIBA rules. I ain't gonna lie.
Uh-huh.
I think they for us they save it more for like playoff basketball. That's when they start.
Yeah,
Defense matters. The scoring comes down a little bit. So I like both styles of play.
yeah.
Um, so what was your favorite part about coming to the States? Not even basketball wise, just something that you loved out here. It could be food, a place to go, anything.
I mean, I love to live in US. Like every time I have a break out here, I try to come back and stay with my family. And I love how like the weather is in California. It's where I live,
Yeah,
and it's like I feel more secure. Like living there here
yeah,
in Brazil, it's some places very dangerous. Um, a lot of robbery and shooting. So in California, the neighborhood I live, it's like very safe, and
heck
I
yeah,
feel like safe living in US. Even though there is a lot of problems in US too, like uh, some places you go, it's very dangerous as well. But like in US, I feel it's like way better for living. Also, I love the
yeah,
friendship I made. Like I made a lot of friends, like you and the other teammates I had, and it's really nice to
heck
come
yeah.
back and talk with teammates and friends, and do something. So I always love to come back US and be around friends that I made over those 6 years living US.
Heck yeah, bro. But that's all. That's all I got for you for today.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, bro. I appreciate you taking your time to get on here,
Uh-huh. Yeah, for sure.
speaking to everybody, letting them know what it's like, bro.
Uh-huh.